right? The most proven methodology to slow aging, or the only proven methodology to slow aging. And here are the 5 words: moderate caloric restriction in the context of micronutrient excellence, which means getting your full level of micronutrient adequacy in your caloric pie. And don't eat excess calories and don't waste your caloric consumption eating things that have no nutrients. When you eat more white bread and more oil and more processed foods and even animal products, because I'm saying animal products and processed foods both are not rich in micronutrients and fibers and substances that fight off cancer. And the more you take space in your pie of calories that you're going to consume each day and waste those calories on white bread and white rice, or even brown rice for that matter, and chicken and oil, the more you put things that are not phytonutrient rich, the less space you have in your diet to eat these protective foods. So the determinants of longevity have to do with the concentration of phytonutrients in your cells and the level of toxins in the cells. Right? So there's 2 types of toxins. There's waste products produced by the body called endogenous wastes, and there's waste products we get exposed to the external environment called exogenous wastes. We want to minimize our exposure to chemicals and toxins, which we can't totally eliminate, but we want to minimize that. But at the same time, the only way to keep those levels of toxins down is to flood the body with high levels of phytonutrients, because I'm explaining to you that these nutrients like ergothioneine and isothiocyanates and the organosulfide compounds in onions, these compounds from these foods and herbs and greens and right have the effect to enable the body to remove toxins from the cells. The higher your nutrient content in your cells, the lower your toxicity of your cells. The lower your nutrient content in the cells, the higher the toxicity of the cells. So you control your risk of which you're aging, and we're looking to do that with a low body fat percent, because body fat is toxic and body fat spews out pro-inflammatory substances. So as your body fat gets higher, you become more insulin resistant. And that's what that low IR means. The IR means insulin resistance. And the hallmark of all long-lived and healthy centenarians is that they're insulin sensitive, not insulin resistant. That means their body fat is low, and they don't need to make much insulin to keep their glucose in the favored range. So all overweight people are pre-diabetic, not the ones whose sugars have already started to rise. Even when their sugars are perfectly normal, they're still pre-diabetic, because if they're overweight, they're producing too much insulin, and too much insulin drives aging of the body and can drive cancer and starts the damage from diabetes occurring even before the sugars start to rise. Now, the glucose response, or the degree of insulin resistance you have, is proportional to the amount of body fat and the lipemic load of the meal. That combination greatly affects whether you're insulin resistant or not. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. The body fat, particularly when you have more saturated fat in the body, and when you eat saturated fats from animal products, then you have more saturated fat that distorts the function of the insulin receptor and makes it so the insulin become more insulin resistant. So this person on a keto diet, which is one of the most dangerous ways a person could eat, they're eating more animal products with saturated fat. They're distorting their insulin receptors and harming them. So when they eat a mango in the morning with their breakfast oatmeal or something, they say, look, I can't eat that stuff. My glucose shoots through the roof. My continuous glucose monitor shows my sugar went to 300 with the mango. Yeah, of course, because you've damaged your insulin receptors with all the animal products you're eating. And all those animal products you're eating made you create certain bacteria in the gut that feeds on those animal products, that creates pro-inflammatory compounds like TMAO, trimethylamine oxide, and P-cresyl sulfate that damage the insulin receptors and damage your kidney and damage your endothelial lining. You're creating all this damage, and you think you can't eat. So we're talking here, and you don't have a healthy biofilm that then slows that keeps your glucose response to the mango favorable. The point is that I'm making right here is that the fat on the body, the type of fat you eat, and the lipemic load of the meal, which means how much fat came into the bloodstream after that meal. When you have oil, any kind of oil poured on your food, including olive oil, that comes in about 40 to 50 calories a minute. You're getting a huge spike of fat in the blood. And the lipemic load just like the glycemic load refers to the glucose that's spiked in the bloodstream, which is the glucose, the sugar in the bloodstream spiking is not beneficial to your health. And the fat spiking in the bloodstream is not beneficial to your health. And protein spiking in the bloodstream is not good to your health. The spike of the bloodstream, this caloric rush with modern foods, burgers and pizza and greasy food and fried foods and oil and everything, the spiking of calories in the bloodstream affects the brain and distorts the brain chemistry. And it turns people into have an addictive relationship with food, going at because the spike of nutrients and the spike of calories in the blood is brain stimulating and makes people become dopamine sensitive and craving. That's the form of craving. You have a salad and a bowl of soup for lunch with a couple of pieces of fruit, and you're not satisfied. You still got to have your caloric. You didn't put enough calories in the blood. Got to have like a candy bar or some ice cream or a double dipper cheese pizza or something. I don't know. Maybe they should make like, instead of these cheeseburgers with 2 burgers, they should put like a pizza with a burger and bacon and another cheese on top. So you have like the pizza is the burger, the bun is made out of pizza, and the burger is made out with bacon in the middle of the two. I could get rich on these, designing these dangerous foods. The more dangerous and the more cancer promoting you design it, the more people want to eat it, right? The more it's crazy, the more dangerous. Anyway, so we're talking here, I'm getting on a tangent, but we're talking here about oils give you a heightened lipemic load. And when you eat nuts and seeds as a source of fat in place of oil, it's walnuts, not walnut oil. It's sesame seeds, not sesame seed oil. Because when you eat the oil, you get this huge spike of fat in the bloodstream, which then makes the insulin the more insulin resistant.